Now, after 2 years since the release of the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I think it's safe to say that it's one of the best iPhones of all time. Now, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is a phone that is not unfamiliar with high praise. It damn near perfected everything that you need your iPhone to do, while also having amazing longevity. Many of the newer iPhones came with a fair amount of problems. The 14 series has severe bugs that are still apparent today, and the iPhone 15 series has been doing much better, but still has many questions surrounding its overall durability. And even though it's not as new as the iPhone 14 Pro Max or 15 Pro Max, I still think that it holds up extremely well when compared and has had the best run for its time. And in this video, I will be sharing my experience with the iPhone 13 Pro Max and show you guys how it's holding up in 2024. Now, looking at the battery, the iPhone 13 Pro Max handled everything extremely well. I was able to get pretty heavy usage out of it since I shoot videos with my iPhones. And other than shooting videos, I'm usually checking up on my Instagram and TikTok analytics, watching YouTube videos, scrolling through Twitter, and checking up on emails throughout the day. I never had to use power saving mode since the battery was able to last me all day with no problem. And as long as I got up to 6 hours of screen time, I basically could use any power heavy app that I wanted. I was very comfortable doing whatever needed to be done on this phone and was always sure that it will last me till the end of the day. On a daily basis, I'm still getting around 7 hours of screen time a day, ending my days on a very low percentage, but still never feeling like I need to cut corners to extend the battery. And I'm still very happy that the iPhone 13 Pro Max is still keeping its great battery reputation, and I'm still amazed that my battery health is staying above 90%. Charging the 13 Pro Max had little to no problem since I mostly charge it overnight. There were a few times where I did forget to charge it, so I charged it while I was getting ready for the day, and it was always on 80 to 100%. Unlike the iPhone 15 Pro Max, the 13 Pro Max uses a Lightning port, which is still pretty convenient if you've already owned an Apple product that supports it. And despite being older, the 13 Pro Max battery is damn near the exact same as my 15 Pro Max, making that cheaper price tag even more convincing. And so now that we've taken a look at the battery, let's get into what's been holding up very well over the past couple of years, and that's the design and build quality. Now, out of every older iPhone in the market, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is some of the best in terms of look and feel. The arched smooth curves complemented with a boxy frame, and is arguably the best in terms of aesthetics. And my favorite part is that the matte back has been very great at dealing with fingerprints. But on the opposite spectrum, the stainless steel sides were very heavy with fingerprints, and that was my only pet peeve because other than that, stainless steel always made the aesthetic more premium. It was also very easy to clean whenever I spill or drop my phone in something dirty, and I really wish that every phone was this practical for everyday use. And now looking at weight, the 13 Pro Max is heavier than the 15 Pro Max. It's 19 grams heavier, and I personally like heavier phones since they give off a more premium look. Holding it was very easy, watching YouTube videos in landscape mode was cool, and holding it vertically was even better. And overall, the iPhone 13 Pro Max's aesthetic has matched the more pricier phones. It still gives great smoothness, and it still looks the same as the previous Pro model iPhones. And yes, this is nice, but it also really shows that Apple has not been doing that much when it comes to innovation. And I would like for the 16 Pro Max to look a little bit different because the 13 Pro Max, looking very similar to the 15 Pro Max, raises a few eyebrows. Now, looking at the display, the iPhone 13 Pro Max has been holding up very well, and in terms of resolution, can easily go toe-to-toe with the best phones in the game. The ProMotion 120Hz refresh rate holds up very well, and is one of the reasons why I think that the 13 Pro Max is a better buy than the 15 or 15 Plus. The 13 Pro Max has a ceramic shield display, and yes, it is supposed to be more crack resistant, but Apple has had more problems with scratch resistance, so it would be nice if they could improve that as well. The premium look is the best attribute that this display has. The colors pop. The smoothness was apparent, and like most iPhones, it was visually stunning. The brightness is lacking when compared to newer iPhones. It caps out at 1000 nits, and while this is still a pretty good spec, I did notice the difference when coming from my 15 Pro Max. Face ID is still holding up very well, and I think that is pretty much confirmed that the iPhone has always had the best facial recognition in the game. And now the last thing that I wanted to touch on when it comes to the display was just how good it looks when watching content, movies, and videos on social media. The resolution has never disappointed me in the slightest, and I'm glad that the very big display was able to enhance the experience. Now moving on to camera, the 13 Pro Max has pretty much been keeping up the same consistency over the past couple of years. The camera software continues to push boundaries and make my photos look as realistic as possible. The selfies were amazing. Different objects in different environments were able to flourish. Zoom photos were top-notch as well. No matter how close I got, I was able to capture clean, crisp photos thanks to the telephoto camera. Selfies on the 13 Pro Max were still among the best in the smartphone market. I love how it handles my skin tone. I love how it looks realistic while also adjusting to details. And I'm still very impressed with the iPhone 13 Pro Max because it's been holding up well all across the board. Videos on the 13 Pro Max are the best in its price range. The autofocus, many different modes, impressive stabilization, and quality was very consistent, which made me want to shoot more videos on it. You can shoot up to 4K. You can also shoot up to 60 frames per second. You can go cinematic mode, slow-mo, and editing videos was good as well. The stabilization was solid, pans were very smooth, and the overall sharpness was top tier. And I want to give you guys some random footage that I was able to capture with my 13 Pro Max.
Is it okay?
And alright you guys, that's it for my review on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's a phone that I feel is of better value than most iPhones. I've seen the 13 Pro Max go for as low as $500, and I think if you can get it for around $500 to $700, it's the perfect deal. You basically get a top tier iPhone for a much cheaper price. And let me know down in the comments, do you think that the iPhone 13 Pro Max is the best iPhone in terms of value? Let me know down below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.